Oh shit. Hey guys, welcome in, Jim here, and we're gonna get into something so badass here in a couple of seconds. I just want to start the video off by saying I had seen this model before, and I think I even handled it. I distinctly remember handling one and going, not bad. And I didn't feel the overwhelming desire to own it. And then all of a sudden, as I was scrolling through a dealer's website, I saw this closer sitting there and went, you know what? I kind of want it. There's something pulling at me. I want it. I'm going to go for it. And from the second I unzipped, that normally means something entirely different. The moment that I unzipped the pouch that this knife came in, I fell in instant love. And what we're looking at here is another Marfione custom. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Tony's work. This was a collaboration that he did with Koji Hara. I've never met Mr. Hara. I have met Hara, his son. Fantastically talented young man, and I'm fairly certain you're going to be seeing some collaborations between Tony and Du as well. But this is based off of his custom knife, where the titanium frame is carved in such a manner that it looks like crossed bamboo. Now his has a little bit more of a handmade look, a little bit more of a rustic look. This is much more refined and much more perfect looking, but I actually appreciate both for their different reasons, for their different designs. This knife is breathtaking, and let me show you one of the reasons why. That amazing mirror polish blade that we all know Tony does so damn well. And it just works with the overall finish and coloration of this knife. Let's start from the beginning. Let's take a look at the packaging. It is nice to review that every now and then. I tend to show a lot of Marfione customs here, and I don't really show the packaging because I did it when they first started doing it, which I believe was on the annex. If not, it was on the sigil, but I think it was the annex. If you've never seen the new packaging, it really is pretty damn amazing. On one end is always going to be your information. So this is the closer with the mirror polish LMAX blade, two-tone bronze, 6AL4V titanium frame, and the serial number 2. I was not trying to get a low serial number, it just happened to work out that way. And then we open that up, and you get the dagger logo here on the inside of the lid. You get the pouch, which would contain the knife, and then right here you get the plaque, the certificate of authenticity. Really cool. I love how this is done, and it's signed by Koji Hara, signed by Tony, and gives you all the information that you would need to validate that it is authentic. You get the machined patch. You get the dangling dagger logo here off of the zipper pull. And then inside your knife would be safely encased within the microfiber cloth, and then inside of this very, very soft lined zipper case. So that's the packaging, and I mean, it really, really is impressive. And I'll give a quick shout out to Empire Outfitters. They actually gave me a lot of swag when I bought this. So now I have patches and stickers and t-shirts, and there may or may not have been a dildo in there. I'm not sure. Really, everything's a dildo if you're brave enough. Quoting Abraham Lincoln, by the way. So Empire Outfitters is where I got this knife, and they're a really, really good source for Microtech and Marfione Customs. So I'm really only showing that because I got such a good deal on this. I have found varying prices on this finish with the two-tone blue and bronze and the mirror finish, anywhere from $1,650 to $2,000, depending on different dealers. Now, that's not even factoring in the secondary market pricing. That's just from the direct dealers. Now, there are more plain versions. You can get different versions on the blade, which are stonewash finishes and satin finishes and whatnot. Then there's also more plain versions of the handle, also even going all the way down to just plain stonewash titanium. They do an all-black DLC version, and all of those are much, much, much less expensive. I don't know what the lowest price version would be, but certainly much more affordable than this. But I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, 100% worth every penny. I am so enamored with this knife. I am so in love with this knife, from the action to the fit and finish to the feel of it to the polishing of the blade, just everything. The bamboo frame, as I mentioned before, is done in 6AL 4V titanium. It is a sub-frame lock, so you notice that the lock is a separate component, not part of the actual frame. It is actually built into the frame, as you can see inside of there. The pocket clip is a really nice custom milled titanium pocket clip with Tony's custom hardware. There is the dagger logo once again, signifying that it is a custom. It is marked Marfione and Hara, and then if you got really good eyesight, you can see the serial number. It's got the Todd Begg style pocket clip where it's got the silicone nitride ball bearing, signature of Todd Begg, that he has allowed Tony to do on a few models, and Tony gives him full credit, which is great. We've seen some makers lately and manufacturers lately using that. We all know it's Todd Begg's design, and they're not giving credit at all. They're not even asking his permission, and it's kind of shitty, and Tony's been really cool about doing that. Tony and Todd get along very, very well. The overall length on this bad boy is 8.625 inches with a 3 3/4 inch blade. It's an LMAX blade, really nice hollow grinds, and as you see, the grinds are done in a full mirror. You've got a beautiful high satin right on the edges of this fuller, and then down inside the fuller you've got that matte bead blasted finish. So you've actually got a tritone finish here. Very slick and very cool. The handle length is 4.875 inches, and it weighs just under 6 ounces. It's about 5.75 ounces. So it's got a bit of weight to it. It really, really does. But it's slim, and I found it really easy to carry. It is a bigger knife. It is a full-size knife, just under 4-inch blade. So it's, you know, it's got some size to it, but the way that it's been made, super simple, super easy to carry. I love listening to this thing as it opens and it locks up. Very solid, very snappy. And there is jimping, by the way, on the flipper tab. So you can pretty much, any style that you prefer to flip. If you're a light switcher, it's nice and fast. If you like to push button, it's nice and fast. Just perfectly done, everything on this. Let's take a good close look at the hardware. It's one of the things I've always appreciated about Microtech and about Marfione Custom is the use of completely custom-made hardware. It makes it a son of a bitch if you've got to take the knife apart for any reason, or even do a very minor pivot adjustment. But aside from that inconvenience, it shows the level of detail and the money that they spend to make these knives. These are not cheaply manufactured in any way. There's nothing ever off the shelf. Everything, even on a production Microtech, still feels custom. And that's pretty damn awesome. The anodizing work on this is truly amazing. Notice the very subtle edges, the fade from the bronze to the blue, and it almost looks like it has a real bamboo texture. I'm hoping my camera is going to pick that up, but you can see it right in there. It is fantastic. This is some of the nicest anodizing work I've ever seen by anyone in any price range. It really is fantastical. I'm really impressed by everything about this knife. There's nothing about it I don't love. And you guys know I love Tony's mirror. I've had quite a few of his knives with mirrors. This is the black DLC mirror recurve that I have on my Combat Troodon. Still, probably my favorite out the front knife. Really, really amazing. Tony has earned a reputation for creating really outlandish knives with really incredible detail and superior fit and finish. I was a little worried, I'll be honest with you, about ordering this knife online without playing with it, without touching it, because sometimes, depending on the model, the detent strength is inconsistent, to put it in the best terms possible. I've gone through a couple of different knives, specifically in the Matrix and Mini Matrix, where you had some that were really amazing, sharp, snappy detents, and some that were super, super weak. And I realize that there is a broad audience that he has to cater to, and there are a lot of different likes and dislikes out there. And if you're buying from a store, it's no big deal. You can handle a few of them and pick out your favorite. Or you're buying from a show. You're standing in front of Tony and Hank and everybody else, and you can play with them and really get a feel for it. So I was a little bit nervous, going, oh geez, I hope the action is up to the level that I want it to be. And it's perfect. It's not a really hard detent. It's just right. It's just enough to make it snappy, to make it fast, without feeling like you're going to break your damn finger. And there really is a delicate balance there. You'll notice there's some nice jimping throughout the knife. You've got jimping here on the rear section of the back spacer. The back spacer does protrude up and away from the frame. If you cover that up, you see the frame actually tapers downward toward the butt end. So this actually comes up, gives you an opening for a lanyard if you choose to put one on there. Then you've got jimping right back here. It's going to be great for a reverse handhold. You've got jimping right up here on the sub frame lock. I mentioned the jimping earlier on the flipper tab. And then of course you have the jimping on the spine of the blade, only at the area that you're really going to need it. And it works very well. It's nice and grippy. And again, something that is a big deal to me is that you've got grippy jimping that doesn't cut into you. It doesn't cut into your thumb. It doesn't cut into your clothing as you're withdrawing the knife. And again, another delicate balance. Some guys go way over the top and every edge is super sharp and it's almost painful to hold and to use. And then some guys that want to round it off so much that now the jimping is completely ineffective. Here, again, good balance. Now this is not the kind of knife that you're going to use every single day. I mean, you got a mirror polished blade. You're going to baby it a little bit more than a stonewash blade or a bead blasted blade. But there is something to be said for how impressive it is when you pull this out. And by the way, when you do that in the sunlight, oh, it's a near orgasmic feeling as the light just goes dancing off that mirror. Notice there are no ripples, no imperfections in that Elmax steel anywhere. It is a perfect, flawless mirror. So it may not be your go-to knife for everyday cutting tasks, of course not. Can it cut stuff? Absolutely. Are you going to put marks on the blade in fairly quick order? Yeah, absolutely. But who gives a shit? When the knife is that beautiful, you just want to carry it. You just want to enjoy it. I got a little fingerprint on there. Normally I don't care, but we are on camera. I want to make it look as nice as it really is. So that was not a blemish in the satin. That was just my fingerprint. My finger tends to drag a little bit because where I tend to hold the knife, my finger actually goes right across that section right there. So again, absolutely stunning work, great balance overall in aesthetics, great balance in the feel, the weight, pretty much everything. This is as close to a perfect knife as I could ever hope for. And I didn't expect that. I expected a nice knife. I didn't expect something that I would go so gaga, batshit fucking crazy for, but I really did. And hopefully soon, I will be able to say that yet again about Tony's work. I sent him a message about 2 weeks ago. I had seen him make a quick post on his Instagram on a brand new Combat Troodon. And I'm not really going to put a lot of information out there because I don't want to have to battle a whole bunch of people for it, but he's bringing a couple special versions to the Blade Show. I'm not able to go this year. My son's high school graduation, the school decided to do it on that Saturday night of all times. Couldn't do it on a Friday or something like that where I could still make part of the show. No, fuck you, parents. We don't want you to do anything. But I actually have a friend of mine that's going to the show, money in hand, to go pick up that knife for me. And if it's anything near as amazing as this one is, you're going to be seeing another glowing Marfione video coming very shortly. So anyway, guys, I wanted to share that with you. I really am amazed by it. If you can find one in any finish, and I mean any finish that appeals to you, grab it. Don't be afraid of the price. Don't be afraid of, well, I'm putting a lot out there and it's such a wildly different knife. I don't know if I'm going to bond with it. I think you will. I think if you can look at the pictures and go, I think that's fucking cool, then trust me, when you get it, it's 10 times nicer in person. And when you feel it in your hand and when you play with it and when you flip it, you're just going to fall madly in love with it. I can't see a reason why you wouldn't. It feels strong and tough even though it's slim. It's got a good amount of heft to it, but it's not overly heavy. And it's a nice, good size. I mean, that's a good size blade on this knife. So all the way around, for me, it's a 100% winner. I just can't stop playing with it. I've carried it a lot since I got it, which is, again, has only been about a week. I didn't want to trash it because I haven't made the video yet. So now that's done. The photography is done. Now I can just enjoy it and carry it and do whatever the hell I want to with it. Thank you guys for joining me for this. I'm going to try and blast out a few more videos here over the next few days. I am seriously behind, and hopefully I can make up for that. And I will see you guys on the next video.